Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam audio class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Eham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam review class. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed how Lord Krishna, he joked with Rukmini Devi because he wanted to see her angry. But on contrary, Rukmini, because she was from a Dakshinya group, she was having a Dakshinya bhav. So she didn't show any anger. On the contrary, she became so very anxious and she fell unconscious. And then Krishna, he lifted her up and caressed her, and then Rukmini, she refuted all the arguments which Krishna had given. Why Rukmini, she did a mistake in marrying him. So in the 11th chapter, which is entitled Lord Balram slays Rukmi, so Sukadeva Goswami continues the description of the family of Krishna. He says, from each of the wives, Krishna, he begot 10 sons, and all these sons, they were equal to the Supreme Lord. They were having all the opulences as Krishna. And it is very interesting that Krishna, he never left all these princesses, and even if he had to go out for some work, he would take permission from them. And therefore all the princes, all the queens, they thought that, oh, Krishna, he loves me the most. So whenever he had to go out for some work, he would take permission and then he would return. And Jiva Goswami says that actually, each one was thinking that Krishna is staying only with me and not with anyone else. And each one thought that Krishna did not go to any other queen. So somebody may ask, but why they didn't confirm? Why they didn't ask other queens? Because they were so very absorbed, they were so very bewildered by the intensity of loving relationships that they never cared for asking others. They were convinced that Krishna is there with me only. That is how Krishna is. He can fulfill all the desires of a devotee to such an extent that the devotee does not have to go anywhere else. He does not have to ask anybody because he is so very satisfied. He does not he's not concerned, oh, if that person is getting more or if he's enjoying more. Devotional service is susukham kartum avyayam. It is all blissful, and the happiness which one experiences in devotional service, one cannot compare that bliss with anything. That's why it is called as Sandrananda Vishesha Atma. The happiness of devotional service is unlimited. It is infinite. Even the bliss of liberation is nothing in compared to the bliss of bhakti. So that's why all these queens, they were so very happy and satisfied, and just because of the intensity of all these pastimes, they were never concerned of asking and investigating in that matter. They were convinced. So all the wives, they were fully always enchanted by embrace of the Lord, beautiful talks which Krishna would have with them, and that's how they were always absorbed by seeing the beautiful features of the Lord, his loving glances, eyes, arms. They were completely absorbed. And all these queens, they wanted to attract Krishna's attention always. Smayavalokalavadarsita bhavahari Bhrumandala prahita shaunata mantra shaundai Patnyastu shodash sahasramananga banair yasyaindriyai vimatitum kuhakai nasheku. This is a very, very similar verse which comes in the first canto of Bhagavatam. In the 10th chapter, in the 11th chapter, it is described when Krishna enters Dwarka, he goes to the palaces of all the queens, and all the queens, they were trying to attract Krishna's attention by loving glances, by smiles. But Krishna was never affected. He was never disturbed by all these loving glances and smiles. He was just attracted by their devotion. Similar verse is coming here. Smayavalokalavadarsita bhavahari. With their loving smile, and with their arched eyebrows, Bhrumandala prahita shaurata mantra shaundai. With their arched eyebrows, with their sidelong glances, they were actually sending conjugal messages to attract Krishna's attention. Patnyasu shodasasahasramananga banai. And all these 16,108 queens, they were shooting arrows of love, although there was no lust involved there. But yasyaindriyai vimatitum kuhakai karanair nasheku. But Krishna was not agitated by all these glances. That is the beauty of Krishna. That is how Krishna is beyond mundane lusty affairs of the world. We know the story. One time, all the gopis, they wanted to go to take darshan of Durvasa Muni, who had come to Vrindavan, and they went to Krishna and said, Krishna, we want to go, but Yamuna Devi is there, Yamuna river is flowing, and there is no boat, so please help. So Krishna said, okay, you just go and tell Yamuna, if Krishna is a brahmachari, please give way. So all the gopis, they started laughing. What brahmachari? You are spending whole day with us, whole night you are with us. Krishna said, just go and tell once. So gopis, they said, okay. So they went and told that if Krishna is brahmachari, please give us way. And Yamuna Devi parted. They were surprised. Anyways, they went and they served Durvasa Muni. They had prepared lots of foodstuffs for him, and he ate everything. And then he gave blessings to all the gopis, and the gopis had to return. So they again asked Durvasa Muni, oh Durvasa Muni, we have to go back, but Yamuna Devi is there, please help so that we can cross the river. So Durvasa Muni told, okay, you go and tell Yamuna Devi that if Durvasa Muni has not eaten anything, then please give way. So they wanted to laugh, but they couldn't laugh, because they knew if Durvasa Muni becomes angry, he'll curse. So they believed the words of Durvasa Muni and came back and told, if Durvasa Muni has not eaten anything, please give way. And Yamuna Devi parted. Again, they were shocked. They crossed, they came back to Krishna and told, oh Krishna, please tell us. First of all, you told you are a brahmachari and Yamuna gave way. And then we fed so many things to Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni told that if he has not eaten anything, please tell that Yamuna gave way still. What is happening here? So Krishna, he told, look, Durvasa Muni, he is not attached to any of the foodstuffs which you all gave him. He is just satisfied by drinking the Durva grass juice, has this wheat grass juice. That's why it's called as Durva Asa. Asa means to eat. Durvasa. But because you all, made so many things, so just to satisfy you all, he ate all that. Otherwise, he's not attached to all these things. And as far as I am concerned, I am just reciprocating with the love and devotion of all of you. I am not having any attachment to the mundane beauty of all of you. So that's why Krishna is never ever attracted by anything mundane of this world. Whatever relationship is happening between Krishna and the queens, that is spiritual, that is transcendental. There is no lust involved there. Uddama bhava pishuna malvalguhasa vriravalokanihto madano piyasa sammohya chapamajaha pramadottamasta yasya indriyai vimatitum kuhakaina sheku. Cupid, out of his frustration, he gave up his bow. I am required when man and women come together, but I am not there, but still Krishna is enjoying with his queens. How is this happening? He gave up his bow in frustration. So that is happening here. That's what is happening here. So these queens, they obtained Krishna, the Supreme Lord, as their husband, which is so very rare. Even Brahma, even Lord Shiva does not know how to approach Krishna. And Krishna, that same Supreme Lord, is smiling, joking with them, and talking with them, everything. All the devatas headed by Brahmaji, they had to go to the Shir Sagar, and Brahmaji just prays and he hears the words of Vishnu. He cannot even see the Lord. That's how rare it is. So all these queens, they are Nitya Siddha devotees. We heard that they are actually the expansions of the 16 prominent gopis who expanded into 1,000. Each expanded into 1,000. And then Shukdev Goswami describes that although these queens, they had so many maid servants who were ready to do anything, but these queens, they chose to serve the Lord personally. They were doing everything. They were offering him a seat, massaging his lotus feet, giving him pan to chew, fanning him, bathing him, dressing him, everything. Actually, what he's doing, Shukdev Goswami tells that, Sridhar Swami tells that Shukdev Goswami, out of his ecstasy, he is repeating the same verses which he spoke in the 59th chapter. Same verses he is repeating out of his great ecstasy. Same, there also he had told how all these queens, they were doing everything for Krishna. And then, Shukdev Goswami says, now I shall recite for you the names of the sons of the 8 principal queens. And, then he continues so many verses describing the various sons. So each of the queen had 10 sons. And later, Shukdev Goswami will tell that they had one daughter also. So Krishna, he begot 10 sons from each queen. From Rukmini, he had Pradyumna, Charudeshna, Sudeshna, Charudeha, Sucharu, Charugupta, Bhadracharu. So all these, the names are given by Shukdev Goswami, the sons of all the prominent queens. And then after describing all that, he tells in the end that Rohini, who is the chief of the 16,000 queens. So 8 primary queens he described, that all these queens, they begot 10 sons. And there was no time to describe all the 16,000. So he just told the prominent queen, the chief of the 16,000. Her name is Rohini. So she also begot many sons headed by Diptiman, Tamratapta, and so many others. And then Krishna, he told that, Shukdev Goswami told that Krishna's son Pradyumna, he he became the father of very, very powerful son Aniruddha. So we discussed in the last chapter when Krishna was joking with Rukmini. It is after the marriage of Aniruddha. So Rukmini was a grandmother that time. And Shukdev Goswami tells that Pradyumna, he begot Aniruddha in the womb of Rukmavati. So Rukmavati is the daughter of Rukmi. So, and then he says that the sons and grandsons of Krishna, they numbered 10 millions. So it is unimaginable. Just the family of Krishna was 10 millions. So then when Parikshit Maharaj, he hears this, he gets a question. He heard that Pradyumna married Aniruddha to Rukmavati, the daughter of Rukmi. How is it possible? Katham Rukmi Ariputraya Pradaduhitaram Yudhi Krishnena Paribhutastam Hantum Randhum Parikshate Etat Akhyahi me Vidwan Dvishor Vaivahikam Mitha. So he asked, "O great sage, how can Rukmi give his own daughter, to his enemy's son in marriage? How is this possible? Rukmi was defeated by Krishna and he was about to be killed by him, and somehow he was, forgiven because Rukmini, she prayed, and Rukmi, he was always waiting for the opportunity to kill Krishna. So please explain, how is this possible? How can marriage happen between inimical parties?" So then Shukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj encourages Shukdev Goswami, telling, "Are you are a great mystic sage. You know everything, past, present, and future. Please tell me." So Shukdev Goswami, he continues the narration. He says, "Prita Swamvare Sakshat Anangong Yutastaya Ragya Sameta Nirjitya Jaharaika Ratho Yudhi." So he tells that actually Rukmavati, she already had chosen Pradyumna. She always wanted to marry Pradyumna. So, just to save himself out of the embarrassment of, marrying his daughter to the enemy's son, Rukmi arranged a Swayamvar. And in that Swayamvar, Pradyumna came and he, won Rukmavati's hand. So Rukmi, he did so that all these things so that he can escape the infamy. Oh, you gave your daughter to your enemy. So that's why he arranged a Swayamvar so that he can fool all the other competitors. And then, actually, Shukdev Goswami says he gave his daughter's hand to Pradyumna because he wanted to please his sister Rukmini. He had affection for Rukmini. That's why he did all that. And then Shukdev Goswami tells that son of Kritavarma, his name was Bali, and he married Rukmini's young daughter. Her name was Charumati. So Shukdev Goswami, actually, he didn't tell the name how marriages of all the daughters happened, but he just gave one example, and that's how he hinted. And then all the daughters were also married. And then he tells that Shukdev Goswami tells Rukmi, see, he married his daughter to Pradyumna, and he married his granddaughter Rochana to his daughter's son Aniruddha. To his So although Rukmi considered that this marriage to is irreligious, but still he wanted to please the sister Rukmini. So he married his granddaughter Rochana to the grandson of Krishna. So that's why. So why did he do that? So that he can please Rukmini Devi again. Although he was thinking, how is this possible? According to the scriptures, one should not give her, granddaughter in marriage to enemy's grandson. But still, because I love my sister Rukmini, so that's why I'm giving all these things. I'm giving my granddaughter's hand in marriage. So, Srila Prabhupada, in the purport, it is described that although the general custom was one should not give the granddaughter's hand to an enemy's grandson, but still he did that. So even if some of the basic principles of spiritual life, which are not familiar in the general public, we should not think, oh, it is not so familiar, I'll give it up. Why I'm practicing spiritual life, nobody is practicing it, it is unpopular, everybody is doing sense gratification, and I am doing all these things which are so very difficult to do, better give it up. Even if nobody is practicing spiritual life in our relatives, in our family members, our friends, but still we should be convinced, I want to please the Supreme Lord. This is the only way I can protect myself, I can save myself from this ocean of material existence. That's why whatever may happen, I will never leave Krishna consciousness. Somehow or other, we have got this rope of devotional service. We don't have to leave it. Very beautiful verse comes in Padyavali. Manasi japani jushte labda patosmi dushte timir gahana rupe hamsa samsara kupe ajit nikhil raksha hetu samsara daksha upanaya mama haste bhakti rajju namaste. Very rhyming shloka that the poet is telling. Manasija, that which is born of the mind. What is that? Lust. The lust is like a snake. And I have fallen timiragahana rupe hanta samsara kupe. I have fallen in this deep, dark well of material existence. And in this deep, dark well, there is a snake of lust. I have been bitten by that snake. Ajita nikhil raksha hetu samsara daksha. O Ajita, O unconquerable Lord, you are expert in protecting the devotees. Therefore, Upanaya Mama Haste, please give in my hand the rope of devotional service. So that is the prayer of a devotee always. Somehow or other, we have got this process of Krishna consciousness. Now we have to endeavor to come out of this cycle of birth and death. And we have to struggle. One time, one devotee asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, please give me your mercy so that I can follow your instructions. Prabhupada said, my mercy is that I have given you instructions. Now you have to follow it. And he gave this example. He said, if somebody is fallen in the well and a rope is given, he cannot demand, let my fingers curl around the rope. No, he has to do it personally. With all the endeavor, with all the effort. Even if nobody is doing around him, we have to be convinced, we have to have that faith. Avashya rakshibe Krishna iti vishwasa palan. So that is what is described in the purport there. So Rukmi, he married his granddaughter Rochana to his enemy's grandson Aniruddha. So on this festive occasion, so all the Yadu members, they went to Bhojkat. If you remember, after Rukmi was defeated and humiliated by Krishna because he had taken a vow, unless I bring my daughter, my sister Rukmini back, I will not enter Kundina. So he didn't enter Kundin, he made a separate city known as Bhojkat. So Rukmini Devi, Krishna, Balram and all the sons of Krishna headed by Samba, Pradyumna, they all went to Bhojkat to attend this marriage of Aniruddha, the son of Pradyumna. So after this marriage happened, some of the arrogant kings, they told Rukmi that, oh Rukmi, oh king, you should defeat Lord Balram in the gambling match. He is not expert at it, although he is addicted to it. So therefore, please challenge him. So Rukmi, being suggested by all these, advised by all these kings, he challenged Balramji, and Balramji also accepted that. And first he bet 100 gold coins, 1,000 gold coins, 10,000 gold coins, and Rukmi, he won all. And Rukmi started laughing, and there was a king of Kalinga. He also laughed very loudly. Balramji became very, very angry. And but still he didn't say anything. He saw this king is offending. After that, he again, he bet Rukmi. So Balramji, he bet 1 lakh gold coins, and Rukmi accepted that. And this time, Balramji won. But still, Rukmi, he tried to cheat Balram, and he declared, "I am the winner." Balram became furious, angry, and shaking his head in anger, he said, "Okay," and he bet 100 million gold coins. And Balramji won. Fairly he won. But just to cheat Balramji, Rukmi said, "Oh, I have won. I have won this. Let all these witnesses." He had so many kings around him who were his friends. So he said, "Oh, I have won. Let all these witnesses, they say what they have seen." So just before they could speak, all the kings could speak anything, a celestial voice said, "Lord Balram has fairly won this wager, and this king Rukmi is surely lying." Even after Rukmi he heard this celestial voice, he ignored that, and he started telling, "Oh, these cowherd men, they don't know anything. Yeah, they don't know how to play a dice. They are just expert in herding cows." And that's how he started ridiculing Krishna and Balram both. Jiva Goswami tells there is a hidden meaning in that verse. He's telling, actually, you are protecting the cows. You are protecting the earth, Mother Earth. And, you are the object of meditation of those people who are staying in the forest. Actually, he was telling that you are staying in the forest. But, Jiva Goswami tells, actually, Mother Saraswati is telling, you are the object of meditation of those who stay in the forest. All the sages staying in the forest, they meditate on your lotus feet. And then, Rukmi told that, "Oh, you are not expert in gambling." He said, "Yes." Jiva Goswami is telling, "Yes." Actually, he's telling that you are not learned in gambling, and neither your devotees. You and your devotees, they are very simple-hearted, and they don't involve in all these sinful things. So thus they insulted all the kings, and Rukmi, they insulted and ridiculed Lord Balram. And Balram ji became so very angry. He took out raised his club and hit Rukmi with his club, and he died. All the kings, they became very fearful. Kalinga, king of Kalinga, he started running away out of fear because he also had laughed. Balramji, he caught that person on the 10th step. He had just taken the 10th step. That's how Shukdev Goswami is described sometimes in such a details. And because he smiled, Balramji, because that king laughed at Balramji, so Balramji with his club, he knocked out all the teeth of this Kalinga, king of Kalinga. And all the other kings, they fled in fear. Krishna, he neither protested nor appreciated the action, the killing of Rukmi, because he wanted to maintain His relationship with Rukmini also and Balramji also, he was thinking, if I take sides of Balramji and tell, yes, yes, this is the right thing which you have done, Rukmini may become angry. And if I take sides with Rukmini and tell Balramji that this is not the right thing, you have killed a relative, Balramji will become angry. So therefore, best is he didn't speak anything. Yeah. And then after that, all of them, they departed. They went back to Dwarka from Bhojpat. Then in the 62nd chapter, which is entitled The Meeting of Usha and Aniruddha. So Parikshit Maharaj, he asked, he said, actually I have heard that Banasur, the great demon Banasur, he married his daughter Usha with Yadus. And as a result of this, a great fight. Actually, Usha was married to Yadus, and Banasur was not, ready for that. So therefore, as a result of that, a great fight ensued between Lord Hari and Lord Shiva. So Parikshit Maharaj said, I want to hear about that. Please tell me, explain me everything in detail because you are the master of mystics. So Shukdev Goswami, he continues. He says, Banasur, who was Banasur? He starts the history. Who was Banasur? He was the eldest of the 100 sons of Bali Maharaj, the most devoted king for whom Vaman Dev appeared and ultimately blessed him. So that great Banasur, he was actually a very devoted person. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva, and he had wonderful qualities. He was very generous, he was intelligent, he was truthful, he was firm in his vows. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And so much so that once Lord Shiva, he was dancing Tandav Nritya. And when somebody is dancing, you need to have some musical instruments going on. So Banasur, he was blessed with 1,000 hands by Lord Shiva. So with his 1,000 hands, he was playing so many instruments, drums, that he pleased Lord Shiva so much. And that's why he was given a beautiful city of Shonitpur. And Lord Shiva, he favored him, and because of that, even Devatas, they were fearful of Banasur, and they were waiting, just like Hiranyakashipu. All the Devatas were humbly serving him. Banasur was like that. All the Devatas were menially serving Banasur. Once, Banasur was with Lord Shiva, and he asked a benediction because Banasur pleased Lord Shiva by playing all the instruments and drums. So he asked a benediction that you please stay as a guardian of my city. Just like Vamanadev became the guardian of Bali Maharaja's Sutala, Lord Shiva was the guardian of Shonitpur, the city of Banasur. And Banasur was very, very powerful. He was so intoxicated with his strength. One day he was standing beside Lord Shiva, and he told that. So very humbly he touched his head at the feet of the Lord Shiva, and he made a request. He spoke that, oh my Lord, actually you are like a desire tree. You can fulfill all the desires. And you have given these 1,000 arms, and these arms are itching to fight. None of the kings of this world, they are able to fulfill and extinguish that itching. Even I went to fight with all the elephants who are the guardians of the 4 directions. They also ran away. So I don't see any bird but anyone besides you who can fulfill my desire to fight. That is how pride is. A person is intoxicated by power. He loses all the discrimination. Madandha, kamandha, dhanandha. No. Somebody may become blinded by wealth, blinded by lust, blinded by power. It is described Vidya tapo vitta vapu vayokulai satam gunai shadvira sattametara smritau hatayam vritamana durdrisha stabdhana pashyanti dhama bhuyasam. A person, although he may have all the wonderful qualities, he may be very educated, very austere, very wealthy, beautiful, youthful. If he is proud of all these qualities, then he cannot understand the greatness of a person standing in front of him. So Banasur, he was so proud that he asked Lord Shiva, I want to fight with you. So Lord Shiva, when he heard this, he became so very angry. He said, "Oh fool, when your flag will be broken, that time you should understand that you will be defeated. Somebody will come who is like me and he will defeat you in the battle." So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually Lord Shiva first he thought I should kill this person. How impudent he is. But then he thought, oh no, he is my devotee only, he is my servant. It is improper to kill our own servant, right? So he didn't kill Banasur. And then he said, you just wait. When my Lord will come, he will teach you a good lesson. He will relieve you of this burden of your hands. And that's how he told. He said, when your peacock flag, so there was a flag which had the symbol of peacock. Banasur had this chariot. On his chariot there was this flag. So Lord Shiva said, when your peacock flag broke spontaneously, you should understand, then somebody will come and fight with you and defeat you. That day your pride will be crushed. Banasur was so foolish and unintelligent. He was delighted to hear this. He thought, oh, at last I got somebody to fight. So he went back to his kingdom and he was waiting for this benediction to, get fulfilled. Banasur, he had a very beautiful daughter named Usha. And one day in the dream, this maiden, Usha, she saw a very beautiful, handsome young man. She had an encounter with actually the son of Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Although she didn't know who was he, she had never seen him and heard him or heard about him, but still, she had that dream. Why this dream came? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes. Actually, because Lord Shiva was there guarding the city, she was there with Parvati. So one day, this Usha, she saw Lord Shiva playing with Mother Parvati. And seeing all these conjugal relationships, this Usha, she also desired to experience the same feelings. So Mother Parvati, she is all knowing, so she told, oh gentle girl, don't be so disturbed. When the time will come, you will get your husband. So she was thinking, she didn't tell anything. She thought, when will that be? When will I get my husband? So Parvati, she understood, she addressed once more. She said, the man who approaches in your dream on the 12th lunar day of the bright fortnight of Vaishakh, you should understand that he will be your husband. And that same day, as predicted by, as told by Mother Parvati, Usha, she got a dream of Aniruddha. And then suddenly this person disappeared. So Usha, she became so very disturbed because she was having a loving relationship with Aniruddha in the dreams. She got up disturbed and she started, crying out. She was surrounded by all the other friends. They were sleeping. She woke up and said, oh, where are you, my lover? So immediately, she became embarrassed because all the other friends, they got up and they started thinking, what is this lady telling all about? This girl has not seen anybody. She has not been with any man. How is she thinking all this? There was a friend of this Usha. Her name was Chitralekha. She was the daughter of the minister. His name was Kushamand. She was very expert in arts. That's why her name was Chitralekha. And she could make the painting of anybody. If if she is given the description, she would make the painting. So Chitralekha, she went and she inquired, uh, "Oh, my friend, who are you searching for? You know, we have never met anybody, but still you are looking so very disturbed." So Usha, she explained everything. I was sleeping in the dream and saw a very handsome young man, and I was enjoying with him. And he had a beautiful bluish complexion, lotus-like eyes, yellow garments, and suddenly he disappeared. So Chitralekha said, "Okay, no problem. I will remove your distress. Don't worry. I'll bring him here. You just show me that person." And she started making the various, pictures from all the prominent men from all over the universe. He drew pictures of the various devatas and the Gandharvas, Charana, Siddhas, Vidyadhara, Yaksha, everybody. And she drew pictures of very prominent human kings also. Shurasena, Vasudev, Krishna, Balram. And when she drew the picture of Pradyumna, because Pradyumna also looked very similar, Usha became bashful. And when she drew this picture of Aniruddha, she said, "Oh yes, he is the one, it's him." So Chitralekha, she was not only expert in making the drawings, she was expert in lots of mystic arts also. So she flew and went to Dwarka, and she brought Pradyumna, back to the Shonitpur kingdom. Actually, Jiva Goswami tells that, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells that, although Chitralekha was expert in mystic art, but her mystic power didn't work in Dwarka. She could not enter Dwarka by her mystic power. That time Narad Muni came. Narad Muni is a very wonderful personality. He is always guided by the Supreme Lord. He reached at that place. He taught Chitralekha a certain special mystic power. And with the help of that mystic power, mystic mantra, Chitralekha, she could enter Dwarka, and she brought uh, Aniruddha to Shonitpur. Some other acharyas tell that actually Chitralekha was the expansion of Yogamaya, and who is assisting all these pastimes. So Usha, when she saw her beloved, in front of her, she became so very happy, and she was there with Aniruddha, enjoying with him for a long time, serving him very nicely, and with all the wonderful gifts and ornaments, very nice foodstuffs. And in this way, Aniruddha, he forgot how the days were passing. As many days passed by, the female guards of Usha, the palace of Usha, they noticed some symptoms of romantic affairs in the body of Usha. And they understood that Usha had broken her maiden vows. And they were very sure about it. All the guards, they went to Banasur and told, "Oh Lord, O King, we have detected in your daughter the kind of improper behavior which will spoil the name of your family. Please do something." And they were very sure, because they knew if they were speaking any lie, they'll be killed. So they are telling that we have seen personally with our eyes that your daughter is manifesting so many symptoms. We are very careful watching over. We never left that palace alone. We are always on guard. And we cannot understand how a man can enter such a tight security, because we have never seen a man there entering, but still your daughter has been corrupted within that palace. Banasur, when he heard this, he became so very agitated and disturbed, and he went charging towards the palace of Usha. And to his surprise and shock, he saw Aniruddha there. In first instance, when he saw Aniruddha, he appreciated the beauty of Aniruddha, because Aniruddha was the son of Pradyumna, who was Cupid himself, Cupid's own son. So he was first attracted by the beauty of Aniruddha. He had a dark blue complexion. He was wearing a beautiful yellow garment, and he was wearing a, very fragrant garland, lotus-like eyes, arms, very powerful arms. And then he noticed that his daughter was having such an intimate relationship with Aniruddha. All the symptoms were telling that. He became so very angry. And when Aniruddha, he saw Banasur, he also stood up and he raised his club. And all the guards, they started coming in trying to attack Aniruddha. And Aniruddha, with his club, he chased them all away. Banasur, he then started fighting with Aniruddha. And Aniruddha, although he was very expert, but Banasur, he caught Aniruddha and bound him by the Nagapash. When this Usha, she saw her beloved being bound up in this way, she was so very sad and disturbed. She started weeping and lamenting. That is a very beautiful pastime which is happening. And now, after all these things are happening, Aniruddha is bound up. And then there was a fight which had to happen, because now Krishna had to find his son. Aniruddha was missing for so many days. So that what will happen in the next chapter, that we'll discuss next time. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.